Next up, we have Paul, the other co-founder of DDN and president.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. So actually, it's kind of a tough call because we learned our friends at NVIDIA just told us 15 minutes ago that we're coming about at the same time than Jensen. So I really appreciate anyone and every one of you being in the room because you picked DDN over Jensen, and it's really appreciated. It's kind of a tough competition. So I'd like a round of applause just for that one because I really appreciate it. So, but you can check it out on live after the fact and check it, but thank you. So after Alex's comments, Alex is always kind of seeing the vision. Obviously, he's the best dressed guy in the HPC. I think that's what he's trying to, right? There's no much competition anyway, right? We all dress pretty casual. And so the only guy well-dressed is going to be Alex. So that's kind of his motto. So anyway, but he has great vision. And so our job for the rest of the team at DDN is to make it a reality, right? And take that great vision with our engineering folks and so forth and the discussion we have with customers and make it real and make it deployable and make it accessible and make it value at 100%. So we mentioned a little bit what we do, right? I mean, over the past everybody knows that we've been working, a lot of familiar faces from partners to customers in the room. So we have done projects with you guys. We've done massive scale, massive amount of value that we've jointly created. And over the past, obviously, few years, this is accelerating, right? The size of the machine is downing. The size of the deployments, right? I mean, I recall where we were talking to the DOE labs and, there was like 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 Intel chips. And that was big, right? And now people are commonly talking about 100,000 GPUs, right? GB200 GPUs, 200,000, 500,000, and nobody's flinching anymore, right? Government agencies are buying 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. It's not really a big deal anymore. So, but these infrastructure come at a price, right? They come at a price of investment, come at a price of power, come at a price of implementation, of human knowledge and so forth. And what needs to happen at the same time then is the acceleration of that, right? We used to have a good life, right? HPC, RFP, we used to take 3 years to do the RFP. We finally would deliver. It would take an extra year to kind of put it on site. And then we would start again the dance. Well, this is gone, right? What happens now is you get a purchase order, you want it up and running within 60 days or faster sometime. And you want to get down to results, time to results, in a very, very fast fashion. Why? Because also the change of pace is no longer a new chip every 3 years. It's a new chip every 6 months or every year, right? So you really have a time to data, time to resolution, time to production, which is super important. We couldn't say any better. Mark Hamilton is the head of the deployment and all the professional services at NVIDIA. So he's kind of the person and his team have to make happen all the Jensen vision, right? He's the one delivering, he's the one making it happen. And it's funny what he said actually about 2-3 weeks ago in India. He said, there's many companies now claiming to be in high performance. It's funny how everybody now is doing high performance. Nobody was doing high performance, but now you see all the enterprise companies, they're all doing high performance. And what he was saying is, as far as we're concerned, there's really one company only doing high performance for the past 20 years. And that's the one we've been using for the past 8 years exclusively within NVIDIA, which is DDN. So, and it's not just this is really something we're passionate about because if you look at it, when we engaged 8 years ago, we were the platform for Selene A100. Then we became the platform for EOS H100, right? And those are 4,000 chips, right? So those are 4,000 GPUs completely set within NVIDIA, doing all the testing, all the frameworks, all the data set, all the workload management and everything in reality, right? Not just empirical. And now we have 40, 50, 60 of our systems being tested against GB200, right? There's no other platform. So all the testing, training, inference all the way through is with DDN technology. We're super proud of that. We really obviously acknowledge and recognize and thank NVIDIA, but the same way, they're not doing it for the pleasure. They're doing it because we're adding value, we're adding significant value, and we are able to scale. Now we're adding a different logo, right? So X.AI, everybody talks about the X.AI, right? An amazing Memphis data center. Nothing was built probably 4 or 5 months ago. and now you have probably above 100,000 GPU in production today. So we're proud to announce that DDN is part and a big part of this installation, providing both DDN EXAScaler technology as well as DDN Infinia technology at massive scale for this site, and hopefully many more behind. But this is also, again, if you look at it, these are very large scale. And what Alex was saying is that we're not just talking that, because we can start at a 2U implementation, right, to support any type of situation, and then grow, but we've basically validated that growth, proven it at 100%. So if you look at it, right, and that's just one example of a graph, right? A lot of you guys are going to be looking at GB200, H200, B200, or maybe some of the other vendors like AMD and so forth. But right now we're focusing on NVIDIA. And if you look at like 1,000, 1,100 GPU deployment, right? DDN is the simplest, most efficient power. Read, writes, I/O, balancing of metadata, no backend network needed, simple, one-pass access to data, as many transactions as you decide. To support 1,000 GPU, right, all you need is 16 of our units. It's like 1/3, it's like 2/3 of a rack, right? Small amount of networks, ports, which is also something that you want to use for your GPUs, but also the least amount of network ports will enable you much better stability over time, right? When we're seeing some of the competition that has their own full mesh requirements on the backbone to even have communication between their servers, it's not scalable. It's impossible. Physically, it's not, right? It works at small scale. It cannot work at very massive scale. And customers are realizing that. So here, once you grow from 1,000 to, let's say, 2,000 GPUs, all you need to do is literally, you don't have to recable, you don't have to change your network. You're basically doubling your amount of NVX3s. Those are basically our new and latest devices. They run DDN EXAScaler. By the way, we've listened to you, right? We've made now accessible online upgrades. So you don't have to basically, that was actually a big request from a lot of you guys, right? To simplify. It's easy to set up. It's easy to manage. We have added a lot of visibility into the workload, into potential issues that you have at the cluster level, right? So we've resolved actually much more than just the storage, data storage, or intelligence side. We're also looking at the network, and we can get the GPU as well, so that your very large system stays up. And if there is issues, we can actually help pinpointing where it is and resolve it very quickly, right? And then again, right, 4600, you see the movie, right? It's like, just keep on going. Very simple. No network changes. I don't need to change my network. I need to add a significant amount of the ports. Online, you can just keep adding platforms. And you can also balance, which means that these systems are fully balanced. So when you buy 10, you have power of 10. When you add 40, you basically have the aggregation of the performance to 40. You don't have 4 times 10. You can actually use the performance and the access of 40 systems. So as you scale, you actually are aggregating and expanding your potential for performance and support. So in essence, what we say right now, and by the way, this is feedback from customers, at the end of the day, what do? We provide better GPU efficiency. Through our checkpointing, it's not just checkpointing, right? It's data load. Through all the workload you're going to have to do, data load, data crunching, checkpointing. Checkpointing, by the way, because GPUs fail, so you need to have checkpointing, but also for model validation. At some point, your model is going to go awry. You need to go right back to and figure out when it was the most accurate. And so checkpointing at massive scale is super, super important. Thanks to our technology on writes, right, which is still the go-back write performance from HPC days, we are 10, 20, 50, 100x faster, especially at large scale, than anybody else in writes. And we challenge anyone to that effect. Another sample customer, we love Jump Trading because I don't know if you guys know they're actually a high-frequency trading, but they're very much HPC-minded. They're not really enterprise-minded. These guys understand really the infrastructure, they understand it when they're running, and they really push their suppliers quite hard. Well, it's funny because Jump Trading was using some competitive technologies. I used QLC and did compression, and basically switched to us a little over a year and a half ago. And at this point, we have about 0.5 exabyte deployed with them of our platform. And if you learn, I think what they enjoy is not just the technology, but also the support of the people, the fact when there's something that happens, we are there not just for the storage, but also for the network or anything else, and we understand the environment and we understand the requirements. Another one is Scaleway. Everybody's going to talk, and we have actually an NCP, Caesar from FluidStack, talking later today. There's this new category of, and actually John Fregala is also talking about them, they're becoming very important because those are NVIDIA cloud providers, and these are basically a bunch of companies that are setting up brand new centers that are there to deliver latest and greatest implementation, right? So they don't have the legacy of potentially all the hyperscalers of all the requirements. They're using the latest GPU, the latest networking, as well as DDN to deliver basically AI in the cloud as a private cloud situation, right? So you control where your data is, you control your latency, you control some of that if you don't have the staff or the data centers yourselves. So this is very important. And what they've seen actually in real life, right? And same case, they're running in different clusters, they're running some of our competition. And at this point in time, has lagged enough that they now see the difference. And the big difference is when you scale, DDN is the only one that keeps basically working no matter what. There's no excuses. There's no issues if you have to delete 100,000 files. There's no issues of metadata. There's no issues of object being forced to be 100 megabytes when you just want to deal with 200 kilobytes. There's no such issues. DDN is fully demonstrated across. So again, a lot of logos. We started with NVIDIA on the SuperPod. We're very humble in a sense because we have a lot of logos, and the way we're looking at it is we're looking more on the technology, right? We work on technology. This year we've done, Alex was mentioning that we're doing great. It's actually really fun because we can invest more. The way we've seen is that we've added engineering, we've added engineering talent, engineering management, and development of acceleration of features, both on EXAScaler and Infinia. So the dollars that basically our customers are basically putting into DDN, we're putting right back into investment, into R&D, into delightment, into more people in the field, into more understanding of how we can help. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it.